Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's webinar. Tonight, the focus is on planning young learners' lessons. My name is Mr. Juan Valenzuela, and I want to welcome you all on behalf of Abilities and Education. Thanks for being here with me tonight. We are going to learn all about planning lessons for young learners. There are three things we will talk about tonight. First, we will talk about the main components of a lesson plan. Then, we will talk about planning and preparing young learners' lessons. And finally, we will share some teaching ideas for effective planning. All right, before we start, I want you to tell me where you are connecting from tonight. Where are you connecting from tonight? Lima, Ceci, good, Lima. All right, so Lima is present tonight. Great. Pura present. Thanks for being with me tonight. Iris, thank you so much. Chiclayo, present. Cajamarca. Lima again. All right, good. Chiclayo. Good. Moyobamba. So Moyobamba present. Puno present. Thanks, Gilbert Guamán. Thank you, Ligia Guillén. Vicenta San Ignacio is present. All right, good. My pleasure, Iris. All right, good. Let's start then with a song, all right? We are going to start right away with a song, but before we sing together, I want to introduce you a friend. Here is a friend, a new friend that wants to say hello to you tonight. All right? All right, she's coming right there. Hello, hello, say hello to my friend. Can you see her? Say hello to her. Say hello to my friend. All right, good. Okay, I'm going to open the microphones right now so you can say hello to my friend. All right? Do you know her name? I haven't told you her name yet, right? Well, her name is Linda. Say hello to Linda.
Hello, Linda.
Hello, Linda.
Oh,
Hello, Linda.
Hello, Linda.
She's happy to say hello to you. Look at her face. She's so happy. All right.
So happy.
Yes, Linda is 9 years old. All right. And she is a school student. She studies in a primary school. Look at her face. Isn't she lovely?
Yes, she is.
How old is Linda? Do you remember how old she is?
9 years old.
She is 9. And what does she do?
She studies.
She studies.
She studies, right? Is she in primary or secondary?
She's in primary.
She's in primary, right? Well, actually, Linda is a very good student. She's very responsible and hardworking, and she is a good daughter also. She helps her mom and dad at home. All right, good. Thank you, Linda. Say goodbye to Linda. Linda is leaving. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, good.
Bye.
All right, good. Now I want to introduce you some other friends. Where do you think Linda is from? We all know where Linda is from, right? Where is Linda from? Where is Linda from? Do you know where she's from? Any ideas?
No, maybe from Cajamarca.
She's Peruvian. She's Peruvian. Yes, she's from Peru, right? And now I want to introduce you some English friends. All right? Here are my friends. Okay, this is Nigel Naylor. Nigel Naylor. All right, who's this?
Nigel Naylor.
Yes, Nigel Naylor. Say hello. Hello to Nigel Naylor.
Hi, Nigel.
Look at what he has in his hands. What does he do?
She's a waiter.
Taylor.
Taylor. Nigel Naylor is a tailor. All right? Nigel Naylor is a tailor. He makes trousers, suits, and shirts. Right? Tailors make trousers, make suits, make shirts, make shorts, make skirts, make t-shirts, make dresses. Good. All right. This is my second friend. Her name is Penny Proctor. Penny Proctor. What's her name?
Penny Proctor.
Penny Proctor.
Penny Proctor.
She's a doctor.
She's a
doctor.
Penny Proctor is a doctor, right? She comes to see you when it hurts. Yes, when it hurts, when your stomach aches, when your head aches, when your leg hurts, right? She comes to see you. All right, good. So what's the name of the first friend I introduced you tonight? What's the name of my first friend? Do you remember?
Nigel Naylor.
The second. Linda. Don't forget Linda. The second friend is
Nigel Naylor.
Penny.
Okay, and the third friend is
Penny Proctor.
Penny.
Proctor.
Penny.
Proctor. Good. All right. Let's continue. There are some more people here I want you to know tonight. This is my friend Peter Palmer. Peter Palmer. Who's this?
Peter Palmer.
Peter Palmer.
He's a farmer.
She's a farmer. She's a farmer.
He's a farmer.
Peter Palmer, he's a farmer. He's got cows and pigs and sheep and chickens and hens. He lives on a farm. All right, good. Okay, here are my three friends. What's the name of the first friend?
Nigel Naylor.
Nigel.
Penny.
Proctor.
Penny Proctor.
And
Peter
the
Palmer.
last one
Peter
is
Palmer.
Palmer.
Peter
Yes.
Palmer.
He is the uncle of Peter Parker, of Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
Okay.
Here's a new friend. Her name is Wendy Winter. Wendy Winter. Who's this?
Wendy Winter.
Winter.
Winter. And what does she do?
She's a
Babysitter.
babysitter. She's a babysitter.
Yes. She minds the kids when they're asleep. All right, good. What's the name of my first friend?
Nigel.
Nigel.
Penny
Proctor. Peter
Palmer.
Palmer. And she's
Wendy
Winter.
Good. Oh, you have such a great memory. So good. All right. Okay. Today we are going to talk about these people, the things they do. You know, people work in the country, people work in the town. People work day and night to make the world go round. Peter Palmer works in the country or in the town? Peter Palmer, the farmer. In the country. In the country. Nigel Naylor works in the country or in the town?
In the town.
In the town.
All right. Okay, good. Here's my new friend. Here's another friend. Her name is Mabel Meacher. Mabel Meacher. Who's this?
Mabel.
Teacher.
Mabel Meacher. Yes. Mabel Meacher. What does she do?
She's a teacher.
She's a teacher.
She's a teacher. She's a language teacher.
She teaches languages.
French and Greek.
English.
She speaks 3 languages. All right. Who are they? Do you remember the names?
Yes, they are.
Nigel Naylor.
Nigel
Peter Palmer. Wendy Witter.
Penny Proctor.
And Mabel.
Peter Palmer.
Peter Palmer.
Victor
Wendy Witter.
Palmer.
Wendy Witter.
Wendy Witter.
And Mabel.
And Mabel Meacher. Yes. Good memory. Good memory. All right. Okay, good. Here's another friend. His name is Gary Gummer. Gary Gummer. Gary Gummer.
Gary Garner.
Gary Gummer. Yeah. Gummer. What does he do?
He's a plumber.
Plumber.
He's a plumber.
He fixes.
Call him when you
got.
Yes, good. All right.
Great.
The names again. Number 1.
Pete.
First.
Nigel
Naylor. Penny Proctor.
Peter Palmer.
Peter Palmer.
Wendy Witter. Yes, Wendy Witter.
Mabel.
Meacher. And
And
Gummer.
Gary Gummer.
Gary
Gummer.
Gummer.
Okay, here's another friend. Her name is Patty Prentice. Patty, yes, Patty, like Patty Carguaya. She's Patty's friend, right? Patty Prentice. Who's this?
Patty
Prentice. What does she do?
She's a dentist.
Dentist. Yes, she's a dentist. Keeps your teeth both clean and white. Yes, clean and white. All right. Okay, again. Number 1, who's that? Who's that?
Nigel
Naylor.
Penny Proctor. Peter Palmer.
Wendy Witter. Mabel Meacher. Gary
Gummer.
And Patty Prentice.
Patty Prentice. Yes, right, good. Okay, here comes my last friend. There is one more. This is the last one. All right, his name is Ronnie Ryman. Ronnie Ryman. Who's this?
Ronnie Ryman.
Fighter.
And he's a fireman.
What does he do?
Fireman.
He's a
Fireman.
He comes when there's a fire to fight. Yes. All right, good. Here are my 8 friends. First, we have Nigel
Naylor, Penny Proctor.
Peter
Palmer.
Wendy Witter.
Wendy Wiltshire.
Mabel
Mabel
Meacher.
Gummer.
Gary Garner.
Patty Prentice.
Patty Prentice.
And Ronnie Ryman.
And Ronnie Ryman. Yes. As you can see here, people work in the country. Some people work in the town. People work day and night to make the world go round. All right, good. Good, 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 good. That's fantastic. All right, now we are singing a song together. This song is called People Work. And we will talk about the people, all the people you've just met. We are going to talk about these people: Nigel Naylor, Penny Proctor, Peter
Peter Pan,
Wendy
Wendy Wheeler, Mabel Meecher,
Mabel
Mabel,
Mitchell,
Mabel,
Patty
Gary
Prentice,
Kim,
Patty
Patty
Brett,
Prentice,
and
Gary
Raymond.
Summer,
Ronnie Ryman. Yes,
Ryan.
good. Okay, good, good, good. Now we are singing together. All right? So I want you all to sing with me. I want you all to sing with me. I want you to stand up right there at home, all right? Because we are singing together. This song is called People Work. You all can see me right there, right? You all can see me at home? Yes? So I want you to move. I want you to sing with me. I want you to turn on your cameras and follow me. All right? We are singing this song together. First, you need to repeat what I say, to repeat what I do, to do what I do. All right? We are going to start with the first people, with the first job, and I want you all to participate. All right, repeat after me. Nigel Naylor.
Nigel Naylor,
Nigel
Naylor.
Lisa Taylor.
Lisa Taylor,
Lisa Taylor.
Lisa Taylor. Yes, Lisa Taylor.
Taylor,
Makes trousers. He makes trousers.
Miss Trousers,
trousers,
He makes trousers. Trousers.
He makes trousers.
Suits and shirts. And shirts. He makes trousers, suits, and shirts. Now, Penny Proctor.
Penny
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 Doctor.
Proctor,
He's a doctor.
He's a doctor.
Comes to see you
comes to see
To
you
see
when
you
it hurts.
when it hurts.
hurts.
Peter Palmer.
Peter
Palmer,
He's a farmer.
Is a
He's
farmer,
a farmer.
a
He's
farmer.
got cows. He's got
He's
cows.
a house.
He has cows
is a cow, pigs
And sheep. And sheep.
sheep.
Hmm? Wendy Witter.
Wendy Wheeler
Babysitter.
is a babysitter.
He's a babysitter.
Minds the kids.
Minds the
Minds
kids
the kids.
They're asleep. When
when
they're
they're asleep.
They sleep.
When they are
in the country, people work in the country,
People work in country.
people work in the town,
People work in town.
the town,
people work day and night, people
People work day and night
Day and night.
to make the world go round, to make
made
the
the world
The
go
world
round.
go round.
round. Yeah. Yeah. In this part of the song, we are going to dance, all right? We say people work in the country, people work in the town, people work day and night to make the world go
Round.
round. All right, good. Next part, Mabel Meecher. Mabel Meecher.
Mabel Meecher,
Mabel Meecher.
Language teacher.
language
Teaches English,
teaches English, French, and Greek.
French
and Greek.
and Greek.
Good memory, very good. Very good. Gary Gummer.
Gary Gummer
gamer,
He's a plumber.
is a plumber.
she's a plumber,
Call him.
Call him.
You got
You got leak.
Got a leak.
Mhm. Patty Prentice.
Patty Prentice.
She's
He's a dentist.
She's a
He's
dentist.
a dentist.
she's a
Is
dentist,
your teeth?
keeps your teeth
bold,
Bold,
clean and white.
clean and
Clean
white.
and white.
white,
Ronnie Ryman
Only Ryman
Ronnie
is a
Ryman
is
fireman.
a fireman.
He's a fireman.
farmer,
is a
Comes
Comes
when there's a fire
when there's a fire
to fight.
to fight.
white,
People work in the country.
People work in the country. People work in the town.
People work day and night
Day and night.
people work day and
to
night
make the world go round.
to make the world go around.
All right, good. Okay, good. Now we are singing this song together. All right, good. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you all to move. I want you all to sing with me. All right, it's ready. Okay, everybody. Nigel Naylor is the first. Nigel Naylor, he's a tailor. He makes trousers, suits, and shirts. Penny Proctor, she's a doctor. Comes to see you when it hurts. Peter Palmer, he's a farmer. He's got pigs and sheep. Wendy Ritter, babysitter, minds the kids when they're asleep. People work in the country. People work in the town. Work day and night.
People work day and
Teacher,
night.
Mabel teacher, language teacher, English, French, and Greek. Gary
Heaven
Mama, he's a
is a farmer.
Patty Prentice, she's a
He's a
dentist.
dentist.
People clean and white. Ronnie Ryman, he's a fireman. When there's a battle, people work in the country. People work in the town.
People work in
The world go round. People work in the country. People work in the town. People work day and night to make the world go round. Very good, very good, very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you like
Very
it? Did you
interesting.
like the song?
Very interesting, teacher.
Yes,
yes.
right. Okay, it seems to be that everyone was enjoying this. All right. I want you to sing again so that you show me that you really learned the song. All right, so I want to hear you all. You know what this is about, so you can move your hands, you can smile, you can stand up, you can dance. All right, I want you all to follow me. All right, let's sing again. Nigel Naylor comes first. Okay, good. Nigel Naylor, he's a
It's a tailor.
trousers, suits, and shirts. Penny Proctor, she's a doctor. Comes to see you when it hurts. Peter Palmer, he's a farmer. He's no cows and pigs and sheep. Wendy Ritter, babysitter, minds the kids when they're asleep. People work in the country. People work in the town. People work day and night to make the world go round. Mabel teacher, language teacher, English, French, and Greek. Gary Gama, he's a plumber, knowing when you've got a leak. Patty Prentice, she's a dentist. People clean and white. Ronnie Ryman, he's a fireman. Comes when there's a battle. People work in the country.
Out in the country. People work in the town.
World go round. People work in the
In the
country.
town. People work, blankets work, children work.
Good. Woo! All right, great, great. Well, that was a fantastic beginning, right? That was a fantastic beginning tonight. All right, thanks for being here. All right, we are going to start then, or to continue with tonight's presentation. As I said before, tonight the focus is on planning young learners' lessons. All right, let's start then right away. Good. Okay, there are three things we will talk about tonight. This is the first thing we will talk about tonight. The focus right now is on identifying the different components of a lesson plan. Before we go through this, I want you to answer these questions and share. You can turn on your microphones and share, or you can answer in the chat box. Here's my first question. Do you think planning lessons is important? Please tell me in the chat box, please turn on your microphones and share.
Yes, teacher, it's really important.
It's important, all right. It is really important, all right. Thanks for sharing. All right.
Absolutely, very important.
All right. Thanks for answering. All right. Here are some comments, some options, but I see that everyone agrees on saying that planning lessons is crucial, is vital, is important, right? Okay. All right, good. How often do you plan lessons? Can you please tell me? When school starts, once you start a course?
Weekly.
All right.
Weekly.
Weekly.
Every day.
Every day, all right. Every fortnight, maybe? Every 15 days?
Weekly and every day.
It's every 15 days? Monthly, all right. Most of you are planning weekly, some of Unice plans monthly, all right. Every day, all right. Thanks for sharing. What do you find most difficult about planning lessons? Especially right now that we are delivering online teaching. When we had face-to-face classes, it was a headache many times for teachers to plan lessons. And right now that we have online teaching, it's like a double headache, right, for many teachers. What do you find most difficult about planning lessons? Can you please tell me? Do you feel like one of the options here describes you?
Yes, like the second one. It sometimes we find it hard because we have to get some new ideas for every lesson.
All right, thank you. Thanks for sharing. All right, Vladimir Solano says that there are no difficulties. All right, good, Vladimir. Thanks for sharing. Karen, time, right? Time is many times a problem, right? Like one of the difficulties, because apart from the fact that we don't have a lot of time these days, it takes us many times more than expected, because when we start planning, we see that we need to spend more time to make our plan successful. All right, Jackie, warming up for your children and your young learners. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. All right. How do we identify and select aims? First of all, we are going to talk about aims. What are aims? What is another word for aim? What is a synonym for aim? What's another word for aim?
Tasks.
Objective.
Target?
Tasks.
Yes.
Objectives.
Objectives? Yes.
Target.
Objectives,
Yes.
goals.
Excellent, excellent. Thanks for sharing, Daniel, Bernardo. Yes, aims are what we want learners to learn. Aims are what we want the students to learn or be able to do at the end of a lesson, a sequence of lessons, or a whole course. Aims focus, for example, on a function or a grammatical structure, because sometimes our aim is that students are good at writing, at producing language, let's say regarding the present simple, the past simple, or the future going to. Aims focus also, for example, on the vocabulary of a particular topic. Sometimes aims can be, an aim can be to make the students, to make the children learn vocabulary related to animals or related to occupations. Aims focus also on developing a language skill, such as listening or writing or speaking. All right? Of course, the aims depend on the student's necessities. And when you work with only one student, when you have maybe a private student, it is easy to plan a lesson. But it becomes more difficult when you have a class of 30 students, each one with different styles, with different necessities, with different realities, right? So yes, it depends on the student's necessities, but there should be a general guide the teacher should follow, and that this is what we will cover tonight. Aims also focus on, or could focus on, encouraging a positive attitude towards the foreign language. The aim of my lesson could be that children value the importance of speaking in English only in the classroom. And to identify and select the most appropriate aims, we the teachers need to ask ourselves two questions. All right, so take notes right now, do not forget, this is very important. If you want to identify and select the most appropriate aims for your classes, you need to ask yourself two questions. Number one, what do your learners already know? That's the first thing. And the second is, what do they need to know? The answers to these questions will help us to make sure that the aims are the right ones for a particular group of learners at a particular time. What are personal aims? Any ideas on what personal aims are? We are covering this terminology right now because many of you are preparing for TKT YL, right? It is possible that many of you have already taken TKT, the classical one, the 3 modules of TKT, and you know that much of preparation has to do with knowing terminology, with being familiar with terminology, because in the exam you will see these terms, and you need to show that you are familiar with this and you know what this is about in your daily teaching, in your everyday teaching. What are personal aims? Yes, Pedro, Vladimir, good. Happy face for you tonight, Pedro. Personal aims have to do with us. They are about us. What do I mean when I say us? Who am I referring to?
Ourselves.
Yes,
Ourselves.
ourselves, but who are we? Who
In,
are
in the way we
Teacher.
reinforce
Teachers.
We as a
teachers?
teachers.
Yes, we are teachers, right? So this has to do with us. Personal aims have to do with us. In addition to learning aims, I mean the aims we choose for our lessons, what we want to achieve or what we want our students to achieve, we may also want to think about our personal aims as teachers. Personal aims show what we, the teachers, would like to improve or focus in our teaching. For example, Improving the way we handle materials and teaching aids and teaching resources. For example, things we can use to support our teaching in the classroom, or particular teaching techniques, or they might be about a relationship with the students. A personal aim could be, for this bimester, I want to be more enthusiastic in my classes because I feel like I need to be more dynamic. So this is a personal aim. Or for the next bimester, I want to improve my use of the board because sometimes when I use the board, instead of making students understand things, I confuse them more. So the next bimester, I want to improve my use of the board. So personal aims have to do with the things we would like to improve as teachers. And it is important that we set personal aims in our planning. Other examples of personal aims are to make more use of the phonemic chart, or to get learners to work with different partners, to get quieter learners to answer questions. They are really, really important, right? So I hope you can include this from today on in your planning. When you plan a lesson, don't forget that you can also include personal aims. What do you want to achieve as a teacher in the following 2 weeks, in the following bimester? I want to make my class more communicative. I will make students speak more in English. This bimester, my personal aim will be to make shy students participate more. Don't you think this is good for your teaching? Don't you think this will contribute positively to a learning environment? What do you think?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Sure, right? Okay, Vladimir, you want to reduce your feelers, all right? Okay, that's good. When talking about personal aims, we cannot say that we achieved these things in 1 or 2 days, right? It takes time. In general, in life, when you want to achieve something, you need time, you need patience, you need dedication. You need to be responsible, you need to be focused, all right? It's not about putting it on the piece of paper and then never do it, all right?
Well, Juan, hello. In
Yes.
my case, I think yes, when you planning, yes, especially your personal aims. In this way, we have to improve and develop our teaching as a teacher English.
Sure, sure, Zoila. Thanks for your contribution, right? And this is good because this will help us grow up as teachers, right? If you start to include personal aims in your plan, in your lesson plans, you will start to grow up as a professional.
Right.
Okay, here are some extra things now to keep in mind when planning lessons. The syllabus, the syllabus. This is a headache for many teachers, all right? The syllabus, right, which is the course program, or the course book will give us a general direction for planning our teaching. Because in the syllabus, you know what you will be covering each week, each month, each bimester. The book is also telling you what sequence you will follow, right? To specify main aims for a particular lesson, we think about our students' necessities, as Vladimir said, and the stage they have reached in their learning. Aims are not the same as procedures. Aims describe what the learners will learn or what they will be able to do with the language by the end of a week, by the end of a unit, by the end of a bimester. While procedures, for example, listening to a recording and answering questions, are what you will do to achieve this. What the teacher and learners do at each stage of the lesson. Our main aims shouldn't be too general. In your lesson plan, your aims or your main aims shouldn't be too general. Aims such as to teach the past simple or to develop the students' reading skills don't say anything. Don't say enough about the purpose of the lesson. More specific aims might be, for example, to introduce and practice the past simple for talking about personal experiences, or to give learners practice in predicting content, or to give learners practice in scanning for specific information. This is my aim this week. Or to give students practice in deducing meaning from context. Do you see the difference? Do you see why I say that main aims shouldn't be too general?
Another example can be a student will be able to talk about experience using past simple.
Yes, or talking about past experiences using ever and never.
Or past event, yeah.
Right?
Right.
All right, another way of looking at main aims is to think about the lesson from the student's point of view, from the learner's point of view. Instead of using infinitives to describe what the teacher plans to do, for example, to introduce, to practice, to revise, to explain, etc., many teachers prefer to describe the learner's objectives or learning outcomes. For example, by the end of the lesson, learners will be able to, or students will be able to use polite requests to ask for information. Are you following me?
Yes.
Right.
Right, good. Okay, you can interact with me the way Soyla is doing it. You can open your microphones. You can write in the chat box. I am always attentive, trying to follow you. All right, Daniel, thanks for answering. All right. Once we have identified the most appropriate main aim for a particular lesson, it should be easier, it is supposed to be easier to make decisions about the rest of things, about everything else. For example, when you have your aim very clear, it will be easier for you to know what material to choose, what activities to do, right? The way you will organize the classroom, the procedures, and the timing of the different stages, right? The stage aims also. Learners of all ages find it helpful to know why they are doing things. And this includes children. They feel like more confident, more secure when they are told what they are supposed to do. When you tell the learners what you expect from them, they feel confident, they feel secure. So it is often a good idea to announce your main aims or to write your aims up on the board. Okay, this week, I want you, dear class, to use past forms of verbs to talk about past experiences. And every day I can tell this to students. You can tell them this at the beginning of the lesson or to repeat this at the end. And the next day the same, and the next day the same. Because sometimes the aims we include in our planning are not short-term aims. They are long-term aims. Because you don't make a student use past simple verbs to talk about past experiences in one class, or in 2 or in 3 classes. Sometimes you need more time. You need a longer period of time, 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So every day at the beginning of the lesson, in the middle of the lesson, you can remind your students what you expect from them. This is going to make them feel confident and secure in their learning. Sometimes there may be good reasons for not announcing a lesson's main aims immediately. For example, if you want your students to discover something about the language during the lesson or to identify a need for new language, you don't tell them what the aims are, all right? In a lesson like this, it will be important to announce or elicit the aim at the end of the lesson so that you can be sure that students know what they have done and why they have done it. Yes, Gertrudes, right? Aim should be specific
Yes.
to achieve students' learning. Thanks for your contribution. Thank you so much. And for young learners, which who are the focus of, you know, our TKT YL webinars, the aims of a lesson can be described in very simple language. Focusing on the things they will do in the lesson and the language knowledge they will take away from it. For example, you tell young learner, okay, children, today we are going to read a story, okay, and learn how to describe people in English. Is this clear? Are you following me?
Yes.
All right, good. For many teachers, a lesson plan looks like an instruction leaflet or a photograph or a story, a road map, a computer program, or a series of road signs. For some teachers, a lesson plan looks like a reading summary also. However, the main components of a lesson plan show us what the lesson is for, right? The aims, and what the learners will do during the lesson and how they will do it, the procedures. These are, I would say that these two things are the most important components of a lesson plan. Number one, the aims, what you want the students to achieve, and the things you will do to make them achieve this, the procedures. Other components help us to think about possible problems and remind us of things we need to remember about the learners. So a lesson plan is most like a road map or a series of road signs. This is something that shows us where we are going and how we are going to get there. Although we may sometimes find that during the journey, we have to take a different route, right? Because sometimes we plan a lesson and then in the middle of the lesson, we see that some of the things we have planned have to be adapted because they might be too easy, too difficult for the students. A lesson plan can include the following headings. You said that planning lesson is very, very important. You all said this at the beginning of today's presentation. And then you said that some of you have to plan your lessons every day. Some of you are planning weekly, some others are planning monthly. Are you familiar with these headings? Class profile, timetable fit, main aim, subsidiary aim, personal aim, assumptions. In some schools, in some institutions, teachers are asked to complete long documents, right? I don't know if this is happening to you or this has happened to you, but in many institutions, teachers are asked to complete long documents with a lot of information about the pace of the lesson, the time, the procedures, right? And it is tiring and it's boring, right? We need to put the name of the class, class profile, 6C primary. timetable fee, the time, the aims, main aims or subsidiary aims, stage aims, personal aims. Yes, they are time consuming. I really pity some of you if you have to do this, all right? Some other components of a lesson plan could be what you see here: anticipated problems, possible solutions, teaching aids, what materials you will use, the procedures again, timing, interaction patterns, and many, many, many things. Yes, Cecilia, yes, you are right. Many times this happens. Those documents are not even feasible because we don't follow them completely till the end, right? Or many times you plan something and your coordinator tells you to change things and to do it the way she or he thinks it should be. What's worse? Has this ever happened to you?
Yes, it's true.
Yes.
Right?
Because when you're planning, yes, a lesson, yeah, you have some activities that you wrote for your plan. But when you are in class, it's difficult. Something happen. For example, one student asks a question about maybe another issue or another topic, and you can't follow up the plan
Yes, it's true.
that you have done.
And what is more important, the lesson plan or the students?
The students, definitely.
Right? The students. So if you have to include all these things in your planning because it is a school policy, it is a must at the place where you work, I'm sorry, you have to do it that way. You know, we are employees, we have to do it this way. But I want you to keep in mind that the most important thing is not what you put on the piece of paper, but what you do inside the classroom with the learners. All right? All right, good. Cecilia, good. Fully agree. Thanks for your contributions. So, if you are working in a place in which the document, the paper, is not really important, but what you do, right? You can omit some of the things. The most important things are the aims, the procedures, what you want to achieve, and the things you will do to achieve that, all right? You can also include time, interaction patterns, etc. But these things are not like vital, right? So for example, in a revision lesson, we may not need anticipate possible problems and solutions, all right? Also, we may not have personal aims for every lesson, and we may not always give our students homework. All right, here come some tips for successful lessons. Number one, when we make a lesson plan, we need to be sure about the reasons for the plan, the learning rationale. To ask ourselves how the procedures will help to achieve our main aims and to make sure there are strong connections between the different stages. We also need to build in variety in our classes. How we can use different activity types, language skills, and interaction patterns. So learners of all ages need variety, but this is especially important for young learners who need frequent changes of activity. We have seen in our first webinars that the attention span of young learners is very short. So we have to be changing activities every 5 or 10 minutes because their concentration and attention span is very, very short. They cannot concentrate for longer periods. So it is important to build in variety in our lessons. A lesson plan can include stages which we can leave out or omit if necessary, as I said. And we can also include some different possibilities in a lesson plan. For example, activities for differentiation, in case you are working with the students with special educational abilities, disabilities, or necessities. Or you can include in your lesson plan an extra activity to use if students take less time than expected to complete a task. Or if we are not sure how well parts of the plan will work. It's a good idea to keep lesson plans as simple as possible, right? So don't complicate your life by writing in detail what you will be doing. Because some teachers write in their lesson plans, stage 1, the teacher tells the students to say their names. Then students say their names in front of everyone. So there's no necessity to give a lot of details. It's a better idea to keep a lesson plan as simple as possible. So notes are better than full sentences. However, we may want to write down some important things in a complete form. For example, prompts for drilling, questions to check learners, or to check learners' understanding, or to check instructions. A lesson plan should be clear and easy to read during the lesson. Different colors, boxes, underlining, etc. are useful. It is often helpful to include drawings of the way the board will look at different stages. Imagine that something happens to you and you cannot deliver the lessons next week. Your lesson plan should be so clear that any other teacher of the world can understand it. Clear and simple, concise and clear, clear and easy to read. Just in case you are not present to deliver the lesson, another teacher can read it, can see your lesson plan and deliver the lesson successfully. Sure, Vladimir, a lesson plan has to be adaptable because you don't know what will happen. Yes, and a lesson plan can be divided into 2 parts. These are called background and procedure. And you can see this division in the lesson plan. In the lesson plan we had in the previous slide. The components in the background come from thinking carefully about who our students are, what they need, and what our aims are. The answers to these questions provide a context that helps us to write the procedure part of the plan. Okay, when we plan an individual lesson, then we need to think about its aim or aims, the shape of the lesson, and the kind of techniques that are most appropriate for a particular group of learners. We also need to think about the connections between the aims of the lesson and the procedures we will use to achieve those aims. We need to think about the available materials, the length of the lesson. Therefore, it's a good idea to make lesson plans, as I said before, as simple as possible. Notes are better than full sentences, and there's no need to describe every single step in great detail. Because a lesson plan should be clear and easy to read during the lesson. Different colors, boxes, underlining, etc. are useful. And variety is very important both in a sequence of lessons and in a single lesson. We should avoid always doing the same kinds of things in the same order. All right, is this clear? Are you following me right there?
Yes. Right.
Okay, good. Okay, here is a list of things that we can vary because I am telling you that we need to include variety in our planning. All right? Jose Luis, please stop writing right there. All right, here is a list of things we can vary. Once again, I am telling you that we need to include variety in our planning. We can vary pace, the velocity of the speed of our lesson. We can also vary the interaction pattern, because sometimes during a lesson, students will have to be working individually, sometimes in pairs, sometimes in groups. We have to have variety of interaction patterns. Not all the time groups, not all the time pairs, not all the times individually, all right? We can vary also the skills, listening, speaking, writing, reading, and there should be like a balance. We have to include the 4 skills in our lessons. Some teachers plan their lessons and they only focus on reading, the whole year reading, first bimester reading, second bimester reading, and they don't include the other skills, any speaking or listening, for example. We can vary the level of difficulty. We can vary the content. We can vary the mood. Right? Sometimes classes have to be like energetic, dynamic, but sometimes no. Sometimes we need a more reflective lesson, a more reflective class with a more reflective focus, and more reflective topics. We can also vary exciting or calming activities. Right? We have steering and settling here. We have talked of rousers and settlers in our previous webinars. Rousers, which are steering activities that involve an element of competition, movement, and settlers or settling, which are more calm activities that we include in our teaching. Is this clear?
Yes, teacher.
All right, good. When we plan an individual lesson, we should ask ourselves a number of questions. For example, what is my overall aim? Will the topic be interesting and motivating for my learners? What are the learning outcomes?
Pero no me machuques nada, aquí. No me machuques acá nada. Acá arriba.
All right. What are the learning outcomes? What do I want the students to have learned by the end of the lesson, right? Are the activities and teaching materials at the right level for all the learners? Have I planned enough for the time available? Do I need extra material? Have I planned too little or too much for the time available again? Does each step or stage in the lesson help to achieve the aim? Are there any stages I can cut if necessary? Do the steps or stages develop logically out of one another or make learning easier? Have I thought about exactly how to start and end the lesson? Are there any aspects of the lesson which I should state as personal aims? The answers to the questions in the previous slides will help to ensure that our lesson plan is motivating, coherent, and at the appropriate level. The questions will also help us to think about important components of the plan, such as materials, stages, timing, and how to start and finish the lesson. All right, good. Now we are going to talk about some teaching ideas. I'm going to share with you some teaching ideas and resources for planning young learners' lessons. The first one, this is a new one. Nobody knows this. This is one of the new things I have for you because this is new for you, right? Flashcards. Is this new?
Yeah.
Yes, right? Very new, right? This is my new discovery, right? My new discovery I want to share with you tonight. Flashcards, right? Flashcards are a fantastic way of presenting vocabulary. Right now the focus is on teaching ideas and resources for planning lessons. So we have flashcards. Can you see this here? Do you like it?
Yes.
Do you like my flashcard?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Do you make flashcards?
Teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes? Look at my horse. Look at my dog now. Look at my cow. So flashcards are a fantastic way to present vocabulary. Here I have a box with flashcards I use in my teaching when I work with children. There are lots here. I want to show you some of them tonight, like these ones. All right. What are they? Shoes, right? Shoes.
Her.
Hair.
Hair.
Carrots. Yogurt. Bananas.
Eggs.
Look, cloudy, it's cloudy. Shells. Frog. Bathroom. All right, yes, bathroom, very good. Very good. All right. So good. Okay, now in the chat box, I will share a link with you. All right? I will share a link in the chat box. Some teachers make their own flashcards, right? Some people are really creative when making flashcards, but some other teachers don't have the talent for making their own flashcards, right? Some teachers have like a special talent, but some others don't, right? So in case you don't have time or you don't have the talent to make your own flashcards, I want you to click on the link that is in the chat box. Please click on the link that is in the chat box. You will access a website where you can find flashcards for your classes. You just choose one topic or one vocabulary section you will be teaching, all right? And then you can download flashcards of the topic you've chosen in PDF format and then print them. I want you to choose one here. Tell me to click on one of these. Which one do you want me to choose right now?
Action verbs.
Action verbs, all right. You just click here. And there are different categories: actions, flashcard, picturing actions, illustrating actions, actions flashcard. Let's choose the first one. You click here, then you click here, you choose the size, small size or medium size. You click on the icon of the PDF document, and then you can download it and save it on your computer. Drop, pick up, work, wake up, dream, cuddle, ride a bike, fight, swim. What do you think of this? Do you like it? All right, Ceci. Good. All right, good. Yes, great. All right, do you use posters? Do you use posters in your classrooms?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, I do.
They are good, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Because they can make students feel like language is a natural thing and they can also learn vocabulary. All right, my pleasure, Daniel, Rocio. You're welcome. Carlos. All right. Okay, here's another link. Look in the chat box. You can click on it. Posters. We have posters here. Here is a list of posters that are sorted alphabetically. Okay, I want you to tell me one of these, to choose one of these.
Likes and dislikes.
Yes.
So, likes and dislikes. Okay. A poster on likes and dislikes. You just click on it, and then you can download and print your poster. Right now, we don't have face-to-face classes, but the students have cameras and they can see us. You can print your posters and stick them on your walls. Because right now, our living rooms, our houses have become classrooms, right? So we,
Yes.
we can put posters behind us and use them. One thing I want you to keep in mind is that a poster is not like a kind of decoration for the classroom. A poster should have a purpose. Rocio, I see you have a poster, right? It says my alphabet. What does it say?
Alphabet teacher, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to, okay. Okay, let me do this, Rocio. Can you see Rocio? Rocio, turn on your camera. We want to see your poster. All right, it's my alphabet, right? Excellent, Rocio. Thanks for sharing. All right. So a poster, as I said before, is not part of our house decoration or part of our classroom decoration, but posters should have a purpose. Rocio Reyes, I'm glad to read that I have saved your life. All right, that's quite good, right? Okay, so here you have posters. because posters make language feel natural and can give your students chances to learn vocabulary and use it in classes, to learn grammar and use different grammar in classes. All right, good. Good. Let's continue. Another resource is projects. Projects. We can include projects in our planning. Do you include projects in your teaching?
Yes.
A project is usually done in more than one lesson, right? Not in one day. All right. Here is another resource. Projects. All right. Look at the link in the chat box. Look at the new link. Here are project ideas for being done in your classes. The good thing about this website is that they tell you what subject the projects cover. And you can choose here on the left a language area. ELA is English Language Arts, Fine Arts, Health, Physical Education, Math, Science, Social Studies. In case you are working in a school in which more than one subject is taught in English. So we can filter the type of project we want to try with our students. This one is called hunger. Hunger. How can we affect hunger in our community? And here is the description of what you will do with the kids. Taking care of our environment. Community heroes, interesting topics, don't you think? Yes, Rocio, cross-curricular lessons, right? Interdisciplinary work. All right, stories. Do you include stories when teaching young learners, when teaching children? Do you include stories in your planning? Here's our website. Yeah, it is said here that these are bedtime stories, stories that parents can tell their children when they go to bed, but they can also be used in the classroom. As you can see, here are stories that teach values. For example, stories of peace, stories of respect, stories of family, of love, fairies, dinosaurs, etc., 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 etc. Do you like this website? And here is one section that says animated stories. Right, let's choose this one. The magic window.
Looking Out the Window by Pedro Pablo Sacristan. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who became very ill. He had to spend all day in bed, unable to move. Because other children weren't allowed to come near him, he suffered greatly and spent his days feeling sad and blue. There wasn't much he could do except look out of the window. Time passed, and his feeling of despair just grew, until one day he saw a strange shape in the window. It was a penguin eating a sausage sandwich. The penguin squeezed in through the open window, said, "Good afternoon," to the boy, turned around and left again. Of course, the boy was very surprised. He was still trying to work out what had happened, when outside his window he saw a monkey in a nappy busy blowing up a balloon. At first, the boy asked himself what that could possibly be, but after a while, as more and more crazy-looking characters appeared out the window, he burst out laughing and found it hard to stop. Anyone wanting to stop laughing would never be helped by seeing a pig playing a tambourine, an elephant...
All right, and here you have the text of the story. All right, another teaching idea, another resource is songs. You know, young learners, children love singing songs, and they learn a lot with music. Do you remember today's song? The song we sang at the beginning of tonight's webinar?
Nigel Naylor, he's a tailor, he makes trousers, suits and shirts. Benny Proctor, she's a doctor, comes to see you when it hurts. Peter Palmer, he's a farmer, he's got cows and pigs and sheep. Wendy Witter, babysitter, minds the kids when they're asleep. People work in the country, people work in the town, people work day and night to make the world go round. Mabel Nietzsche, language teacher, teaches English, French and Greek. Gary Gummer, he's a plumber, call him when you've got a leak. Patty Prentice, she's a dentist, keeps your teeth both clean and white. Ronnie Ryman, he's a fireman, comes when there's a fire to fight. People work in the country, people work in the town, people work day and night to make the world go round. People work in the country, people work in the town, people work day and night to make the world go round.
Great. Here at the Learn English Kids, which is a British Council website, you can find songs, but also you can print the words to the song. If you click here, you can print the lyrics, right? And there are also learning activities for checking comprehension, for revising grammar and vocabulary. And you can download these documents, print them, and give them to your students. Or show them this. Here are the answers for the teacher. And also flashcards for the song. It's loading, yes. And finally, we have rhymes. Rhymes, which are a really good resource that could be considered in our planning and is used with toddlers, with very, very young learners. I'm sharing the links with you in the chat box. All right, but you know, I always share my presentations, the recording of my presentations with you all. And my presentation, my PowerPoint presentation in PDF format. I will be sharing this with you tomorrow. But just in case, I am sharing the links with you in the chat box. All right, here are nursery rhymes. A very popular one is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. This is a very good way to work on pronunciation, comprehension.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you
Yes, beautiful song. Really, really beautiful. My pleasure, Marilyn. Thank you for being here with me. So as you can see, these are the teaching ideas and resources for planning young learners' lessons we shared tonight. Flashcards, posters, projects, stories, songs, rhymes. Okay. Would you like to update and refine your teaching skills for delivering successful online classes this year? You're welcome, Karen. I enjoyed it a lot too. My question now is, would you like to update and refine your teaching skills for delivering online classes this year?
Definitely.
All right. So I want to invite you all to enroll in my new professional development training program for successful online teaching and empower your teaching. I know that many of you are working in a place in which you are not using books this year because the school principals have decided not to include books in the classes this year because the families don't have enough money to buy materials this year. It is possible that you are wondering how to start your planning this year. So if you feel you need some help or you would like to refresh your knowledge on how to plan lessons this year, you want to update your teaching, refine your teaching skills for delivering successful online classes this year, you can enroll in my new program. What will we cover? We will have 3 sessions, but this will not be for free. This time it won't be for free because this is an exclusive program and this will include a pack for teachers. There will be 3 sessions. In the first session, we will cover the class syllabus, how to make it, what to include in the syllabus, how many units per bimester, and the school curriculum. Then we will cover everything about lesson planning, how to make a realistic lesson plan, the annual program, what to include in a lesson for successful teaching and learning. Also, in the first session, we will cover something about special educational needs and disabilities for teachers who work with children with Down syndrome, for example, or children with dyslexia, for example. And we will cover all about games for online teaching. In the second session, we will talk about resources for teaching the 3 language systems, resources for teaching the 4 skills, and ebooks for ELT. I told you that teachers, the participants will receive a teacher's pack. You will receive a lot of PowerPoints, worksheets, posters, stories, songs, videos, reading, etc., etc., etc. You will receive a pack with all the material, and apart from that, I will show you some other websites that you can access for free to improve your teaching, to empower your teaching, to improve your planning. On the very last session, we will talk about classroom management, the role of the teacher, grouping and correcting learners, and all that has to do with assessment, what to assess, how to assess. You said you need information, Rocio. Well, the cost of these training sessions is 115 soles. 115 soles. Is there anybody here from another country right now? because sometimes some teachers from other countries join our webinars. In case you are in Ecuador or Colombia, the cost is $35 US. If you want to pre-register, if you want to be part of this program, you can register tonight. Can you see the link in the chat box?
Right.
Okay, you can click on the link and register. There are 2 dates, there are 2 groups. You can choose, you can be in the February group or you can be in the March group. There is one group in February, the dates are 19th, 20th, and 25th of February. Or if you want to join the March group, in March, the sessions will be on the 4th, the 9th, and the 11th of March. Both February and March from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. So you are all invited. You can't miss it. It'll be really, really, really good. And I'm sure you will enjoy it. All right, for further information, you can contact me. Here's my phone number and my email address, or you can visit my website. That's all for today then. Thank you very much for accompanying me. I want you to turn on your cameras now so that we take a photo together. Thank you for being here. Please turn on your cameras.
Juan, thanks a lot for sharing the kind of material.
All right, good. My pleasure, Zoila. All right, Karim Melendez, your camera. Edith Goizueta, Vicenta, Claudia Panta, Pedro Mauriola, your camera. Doris Vasquez, Marilyn Henny, your camera. Jackie Alvarez, your camera. Julie Pasache, Claudia Panta. Marilu, your camera, please. All right, I want you all to give me a big smile. Thank you so much. Daniel, thank you. Carlos, Carlitos Celada, friend, dear friend, thank you. Monica.
Thanks to you, teacher. Thanks to you.
Hugs and kisses for everyone. Blessings. Take care. Don't go out.
Same to you.
Right, teacher.
Stay home.
Take care and blessings. Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye, take care.
It was